So I don't know if you guys have really been paying attention to everything that's been going on in this country. I'm not talking about the Iran war, but I think it's some things that you guys need to understand that y'all gotta pay real attention to out here, because a lot of stuff is not adding up. And I'm going to break down something I think that might be happening in this country, and you guys should be paying attention to this. JD Vance, you notice that you're not really seeing a lot of him. He's not really next to Trump as much. Every time you see Trump, you see Pete Hegseth. JD Vance is supposed to be the president, vice president. Now, remember, I done made a couple of videos, and I've been saying that I think that the goal with Donald Trump is like the icing on the cake for America. They are planning to take down this country and weaken it from the military and stuff. And I don't know why, if they plan on allowing an invasion to happen, I don't know. But that's just one angle. Another thing that could be shaping up could be a real civil war here. And I'm going to explain what I mean, why I'm saying this. And if that's what's happening, if that's what's brewing, that too is another way to weaken and destroy America, bring it to its knees, man. Think about this. JD Vance originally did not like Donald Trump, yo. Y'all remember when he was saying all that slick stuff, and he didn't like Trump, bro. All of a sudden they bring him in as vice president. Why would Trump, if Trump is the one that really picks his VP, if that's the story that they're telling us, right? Why would Trump pick somebody that dissed him like that? Why would he pick him to run as his VP, man? What I think is happening, and like I said, I could be wrong, but I feel it in my bones that I'm right. Time will tell. That is why we're seeing it's almost like this is all theater too. It's like it's all playing out in the script. That's why the ballroom was being built down. They're saying is the Supreme Court blocking it. I'm gonna try to cover that in another video. It was, a bunker is being expanded under the ballroom. Trump even came out and said it. Why would he need a bunker? Why would Trump need that? There's already stuff going on. There's already like little tunnels and shit under the, like, I don't know if it's the White House, but I know the Capitol building got a lot of tunnels and subways and shit like that. But if you're not trying to stay in power, why would you need to build a ballroom? It's not like, that's your house. It's not your house. That's the White House. Think about that. He even made little slick stuff like, y'all don't have to worry about voting again after this round. Then you keep hearing them bring up him being in office for 2028. This is all happening right in front of your face, man. But the concerning part is with the JD Vance. He don't like Donald Trump, yo. I'm telling you now. They put him in there. I believe what's going to happen out here, we might see a military coup. I think we are headed towards a coup. JD Vance is probably going to have somebody aligned with him. Trump got his generals. That's why he had that meeting where he was Xing out the generals that wasn't loyal to him and all this stuff. He got his loyalists with him. JD Vance, so they'll try to make a move and try to throw Trump out of office. Trump is not going to want to leave. JD Vance is going to be against that. And then you are going to have his faction of the military going after Donald Trump, just like that movie, Civil War. They tell you messages are in movies, right? And if you haven't seen that movie, Civil War, I suggest you go watch it. It's kind of corny, but the whole plot you'll see what the plot is. It's almost like what I'm saying right now, man. Within this next 3 years, we are going to see a lot of this place ain't gonna look the same no more, bro. And I don't know, and I can't, and I could be meaning physically different, destroyed, but definitely government-wise, it's gonna be unrecognizable, yo. I think we headed towards a coup. And not only that, if we did see a military coup and we saw like JD Vance try to overthrow and take Donald Trump out of office with his faction, y'all gotta remember, what about all those military guys that Trump got rid of? Where you think they at right now? What you think they doing? Those generals, you don't think I think that they sitting back plotting, bro, because they really don't want Trump in there. But then JD Vance is not a good option either. But what I'm saying is, we might be looking at a rift or a power struggle real soon. Because you hardly even hear Trump talk about JD Vance. Rarely. And vice versa. You might still hear Vance pop out a little bit and say his little script that he's supposed to say. That's all bullshit, man. He never liked Donald Trump, but somehow he made it to vice president with Donald Trump. I don't know why people not paying attention, bro. Both of these dudes were put in place to further the destruction of America, man. And one of those ways to destroy it will be a coup. And then not only that, as bad as a coup is, you gonna fuck around and have another piece of another conflict break out between the leftists and the right coming out of that coup, because the left gonna be like, man, we don't give a fuck about that coup. We don't want no part of the right in office running this country at all. Hey, listen, I will say this. My recommendations for y'all, man, for Americans, I suggest right now, while you still got some time, definitely get some ammo, extra mags, some extra weapons and put them away. But even more important than that, you better get you some, store away some canned goods, some foods, get some seeds, try to get some soil while you can. Yeah, you might want to do that, y'all. You might want to do that. Just saying. Anyway, it's RebelWorld News, man. Y'all stay safe out there. Watch your six.